Hello again, my anamorphic friends. Welcome to the 4th episode of Module 8 in the Anamorphic Cookbook. Today, I'm going to show you how to go over the top and live stream in Anamorphic. The process showed here also works for Zoom calls or whatever conference service you're using, so stay tuned even if live streaming isn't your thing, but you would love to add some flair to your meetings. At the beginning of this module, I went over proper D-squeeze and timeline settings. Then in episode 2, I covered capturing distortion grids and image adjustments like transforming pincushion distortion into barrel distortion, as well as repairing slightly skewed images. In episode 3, we went deeper into the rabbit hole of anamorphic mumps and lenses with variable D-squeeze, plus some tricks for overcompressed frame size. If you missed any of that, now you get to know where to go. On today's agenda, there are at least a couple challenges for anamorphic live streaming. I'll show you how to set up your ATOMOS screen to stream directly from it, and then show you how to set up OBS Studio to do all the work. Another great benefit from many of the newer ATOMOS devices is you can live stream directly from them. ATOMOS even has a super easy tutorial on how to set that up, and you can find the link in the description. For that process, you will need an internet connection, your monitor, camera, and an account at ATOMOS Cloud. Create the account in advance to save you some time in the process. There will be a slight difference on the interface in the monitor due to firmware updates, but it's mostly the same. Also, make sure to run the latest versions of firmware in all of your gear. After you follow the steps in the tutorial, you will have this live button on your monitor that triggers YouTube or whatever service you choose to start streaming. So you don't even need a computer. One thing I thought would be super convenient is that since we can set up D-squeeze in the ATOMOS screen, that would carry over to the live stream. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, and the D-squeeze is only applied in the monitor. I reached out to ATOMOS suggesting a patch, so hopefully we'll see a change here. The first step in the process to do your Zoom meetings or live streams in anamorphic widescreen is to make your camera a video input for your computer. Many camera manufacturers give you software to make that simple, but I'll use a more classic solution that won't change according to your camera brand. Get a capture card. There's lots of fancy, expensive options on the market, but I'm going with a generic USB to HDMI, which cost me about 25 bucks. With that plugged into my computer, download and install OBS Studio. OBS is an open source, free screen recording and streaming software, and you can find the link for it in the description. After installation, open it up. OBS will ask you a few questions, so answer as best as you can, and know that all of it can be changed later. Once we're on the main screen, go over to your sources and click the plus button. Pick Video Capture Device, give it a name, and in the next screen, pick your capture card from the drop-down menu. That should give you a squeezed image. Straight up select the image on the canvas or working area and right-click it. Here, go over Transform, then Edit Transform. In the new pop-up menu, take your horizontal side, this might change depending on your capture card resolution, and multiply it by the anamorphic squeeze. The image will expand to outside the screen. Now click on the bounding box type, and here you have two options. Pick Scale to Width of Bounds if you want the entire frame, which will give you black bars, or Scale to Height of Bounds, which will crop it so you get the full screen but lose the sides. The latter is likely the least obtrusive option if you don't want people asking, why does your camera have black bars? Now if you're live streaming, you can click Start Streaming and go for it. But if you want to spice up your conference calls, click on Start Virtual Camera. Now when you go into a call, you'll have the option to use OBS output as your visuals. You can greatly customize OBS to your needs for live streaming, but I'll try a different thing here. We have a setup in which a couple different cameras come into the Sumo through the several SDI ports in the back and taking the HDMI out into the capture card. As long as all my cameras are using lenses with the same squeeze factor, I can repeat the OBS process for V-squeeze, but then switch between the cameras smoothly by just selecting each one on the quad view displayed on the Sumo. As we head up to the conclusion of Module 8, the only thing left to talk about is integrating live action footage with visual effects and CGI. We talked about acquiring distortion grids for the VFX team, and I'd like to shine a little bit of light on the particular challenges of working with anamorphic footage. So for the last episode in this module, I'll be having a chat with a VFX artist to share their perspective about working with anamorphics. Stay tuned. With that said, I look forward to seeing a lot more anamorphic live streams and conference calls going on. Thank you so much for watching. Out.